Almost 25 years ago exactly, I was elected to the House of Commons as Member of Parliament for Torfaen. It's been a great pleasure and a great privilege to represent my constituents over that quarter of a century, and many good things have happened. Unfortunately, one event that hasn't changed is the position of youth unemployment. When I was standing for election in 1987, I met a young man in Cwmbran who literally was crying because he couldn't find a job. Unfortunately, with the recession and the problems we've got these days, that's coming back to a certain extent, but I do hope that eventually we'll overcome these problems, but that, I fear, is something that hasn't changed after 25 years. Last week I had the great privilege of going to the town hall in Pontypool and helping to celebrate Armed Forces Day, and also to reflect on the fact that many of people from the Eastern Valley over the years, some of whom of course very recently, have died in conflict. And I believe that something like 25,000 people in Torfaen have a direct link with the armed forces, and there's hardly a family in our valley which doesn't have some record of either a father or grandfather or a son over the years who served their country. So it was a great privilege and a great pleasure to go along to that particular ceremony. Another event that's very close to my heart, of course, is peace in Northern Ireland. And over the last few weeks we've seen some great developments, not least of which is the historic handshake meeting between Martin McGuinness of Sinn Féin and Her Majesty the Queen. This really does show the tremendous strides that have occurred in Northern Ireland over all these years, and of the 25 years that I've spent in Parliament, 7 of them were spent dealing directly with Northern Ireland, either as an opposition spokesman or as a Minister and Secretary of State in that part of the world. Recently I introduced an adjournment debate in the House of Commons to look at the way in which the government is trying to change how our Assembly members are elected. I do really think that we need to have another look at this, because it's very important that a big constitutional change like this should be a matter of consensus and not forced upon the people of Wales by the government, and I hope that they will rethink that. The other event that's taken place over the last month or two, of course, is the election of a new council for Torfaen, and I look forward to working with our new council, our new councillors, as I do with our Assembly member, Lynn Eagle. Thank you very much for listening to me.